All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the weekly Roundup with Mountaineers head football coach Tim Camp. Coach Camp is EOU's all-time winningest head coach in his 15th year here at Eastern Oregon for the Mounties. Coach, thanks again for joining me here after week 3.
I appreciate you having me. We've got a lot of good things to talk about.
Absolutely. Let's get into it. So, looking back on this past weekend's game, you guys traveled up to Spokane, Washington to take on NCAA Division III affiliated Whitworth University in a non-conference matchup. The game marks the return of an old rivalry that ran 28 seasons straight, ending in 2005 when the two teams met last. This weekend, Whitworth took home the win 33-7, pulling away there late in the fourth quarter. You know, the offense couldn't quite find a rhythm, but we did see some big plays like Aiden Patterson breaking a 35-yard touchdown run, capping off a long drive. Blaine Shaw and Zach Donato both made a couple of huge plays on the defensive side with some big interceptions. And then Zach Donato, of course, had a huge all-around great game with 12 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and that interception, of course. So what were your thoughts on the game, Coach?
Zach Donato could be one of the best players in the country. Zach Donato plays the game of football the way it's supposed to be played. Super proud of that kid. He's a leader. He is very consistent in his approach. He does a lot of really good things right. He's a good football player, but he's even a better person. So very proud of him. The game in general, hey, we traveled well. I thought everything went great going up. Obviously, the outcome wasn't what we wanted. You know, the consistency offensively and the ability to make plays. Guys got to be able to step up and make the plays that are there to be made. You know, when you talk about consistency, it's when good work becomes habit. You know, it's consistent behavior over and over and over again, and that's just not on the game field. That's in practice. You know, so we're identifying things. We're gonna give new people looks. We're gonna try and create the consistency that we need through competition. And I would really like to settle on a quarterback here before too much longer. You know, I think that every one of them does something just a little bit different. That's really, really good. But what I want is a consistent offensive approach. I want to be able to get people off the field on third downs. You know, such a tight game all the way through. You know, 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You know, it's 12-7, and I think that to be able to have the toughness to continue to control all the mental challenges that are ahead of us, and then just having the intensity to make things happen with 100% effort to keep going. And so yeah, the ball is shaped weird, it bounces funny and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, we need to be able to come together as a team and be able to finish out a tight game like that against a good team. You know, we got another good team coming into LeGrand this week with Carroll College.
Right, yeah. We'll touch on that here shortly. You know, one thing you talked about was kind of the quarterback situation. We've seen a different mix here, and I assume the listeners probably want to hear a little bit more about that. But I know just in terms, we've seen, you know, Andrew James and Luke Ross primarily, and, you know, some other different looks as well. But can you talk a little bit more about that dynamic and kind of how things are looking at that quarterback position right now?
Yeah, the one thing that I've always wanted is to be able to have multiple quarterbacks that could step in and do things, right? And like I said, each one of them does something just a little bit different, and the leadership is what I'm looking for out of the quarterback position, to be able to get the ball in the right place at the right time in the playmaker's hands. We talk about that all the time, and to be able to sit in the pocket. You know, there was times in the game that I felt that we were protecting really, really well, and we were ducking out of pockets. You know, so that's coaching. That's being consistent. But at the end of the day, there's good competition there. I'm looking for somebody to step up and take it over. You know, I think that's the one thing. Leading into the Whitworth game and even leading into the Carroll game is just to be able to find a guy that wants to be able to compete every single play and really understand the value of taking care of the football. The big thing is being able to take care of the football. You can't score if you don't have the football, you know, so to be able to value it and again, just the consistency of running our offense the way that I know it can be run is what I'm looking for out of the quarterback position right now.
Got it. And we apologize.
Everybody Yeah, everybody who watches the game, I mean, they see things, right? And it's like one of those things where, as a quarterback, you sit back there, and all of a sudden somebody misses a block. Now you got to go, right? So the blind eye don't see the consistency that it needs to take every single play, and really just to be able to understand, hey, these kids are trying their hardest. I know they are, right? The attitude, the effort's there, and the willingness, and so I'm proud of that. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to see a guy be able to take over and make plays.
Right. And I just want to apologize for everyone listening right now. We've got a little bit of construction going on, so if you're hearing that, that's what all the noise is in the background. So just to note that here going forward, my apologies. But coming back to what we were talking about with quarterbacks, yeah, like you said, I think it's pretty easy for a lot of people to sit in the stands or, watch the stream or whatever and think, oh, why didn't you make that pass or whatever. But the game's a lot different when you got a 270-pound dude running full speed at you in your face, and then you've got to make a split-second decision. Right. But
absolutely. But I want our offense is built for check downs. Our offense is built for easy outs. And those are the things when that does happen. Yeah. Hey, it's that split-second decision. What do I do? And again, sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't. So just looking for consistency. I was watching my other favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys. I watched Dak Prescott. I mean, man, did they struggle. And it was like one of those things where you're sitting there going, and I even got myself into this. Well, why don't you just throw the ball here? Well, there's a progression, and we need to be better in those progressions. We need to be able to get the guys in space, play calling wise. So don't take me wrong. I never would ever blame a young man who's out there giving me great effort, right? But what we got to do as a coaching staff is we got to continue to find what they're good at, what they see or what they don't see, and then we got to build off of those things. And I think that's how you make and truly build a quarterback, and that's the way we've built a quarterback here at Eastern Oregon for the last several years, is to be able to find what they do and what they're comfortable with, and then to be able to just continue to build off that.
Right. Yeah. So that's a lot of awesome stuff. Appreciate that, Coach. Let's kind of look into this next week here as we return to conference play, right? So the Mounties are finally back at home here after a 2-week stint on the road. This week they'll be taking on Carroll College. Carroll sitting at 1-1 on the season. They upset the conference favorite in Montana Western to open up the year, but dropped their game last week to Montana Tech 26-10. So it's been a mixed bag with a big win followed by a loss a lot of people probably didn't expect. But, looking at the numbers, their offense hasn't been super dominant by any means, averaging 61 rushing yards and 142 passing yards per game. But again, it's early. You can't put a whole lot of stock into those numbers.
Right.
What are your thoughts going into this week?
As I watch Carroll College, I think, offensively, I think that they have playmakers. I think that their offensive line is a lot better. I know they have 2 really good running backs. I think their quarterback has a lot of pulleys back there. I know that Coach is probably talking about, hey, this is an opportunity for a breakout game for us offensively, right? They've only scored 10 points in each one of their games, but it's early. What I'm expecting is the best version of Carroll College coming in here, and that's what we've been talking about, and that's the way that we practiced yesterday. And again, to be able to have that commitment to go out there and put yourself out there. Hey, you may fail, but at the same time, we're going to pick ourselves up. We're going to get back again. We're going to get lined up. We're going to just keep going until we get this right, and that's the commitment level that I told the team yesterday. Don't mistake me and my loudness for being angry, because I'm not angry. I don't get angry, but I am passionate about Eastern Oregon. I'm passionate about the football program and trying to put a product out on the field that we can all be proud of. And that's the commitment level. And I need the leaders in the locker room to continue to rise, and I need the young guys to come through. And again, that's coaching, that's pushing, that's doing everything that you can do to build that intensity in the weight room, to build the intensity on the practice field, to build the intensity in the meetings. So when you go out to the football field and you're going against a real good team like Carroll College, hey, then it's easy. Hey, I'm prepared. I broke a sweat in the meeting room. I broke a sweat in the weight room. This is easy because I know exactly what I'm going to expect in this situation or this play.
Absolutely, yeah. Preparation is huge. I think. We've probably talked about it every week, but the amount of preparation that goes into a game is insane if most people haven't been around in a college locker room. That's I think that's something that's a very underrated aspect of college football is you're spending so much time watching film individually, watching film in meetings, going over things in meetings, and then obviously putting that into action on the field for practice. But yeah, that's huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those deals where you sit there and you're like, hey, you know what? Hey, we can get this, we can get that. But at the end of the day, we need to go execute, and then to be able to, like we talk about all the time. I spoke on Sunday. I spoke on Monday to the team about just, hey, let's get back to the fundamentals of doing stuff. Let's get back to doing the things the way that we do things around here. And the majority, if you watch the game, you got 9 or 10 guys doing the right thing, and then all of a sudden, I got one guy over here doing his own thing, and he's going 100 miles an hour, but he's not doing it right. So again, that all goes back to coaching. What can they learn, and then how can we put that product out on the field so we can be successful, and not looking at the big picture. Where we're at right now. Hey, let's win this play. Let's win the next play. Let's get that first down. Let's get that stop on third down. Let's do these things, and let's do it together, and then let's build and continue to, because we talk about this all the time within our program. Take care of the little things, because then that'll take care of the big things. I think I spoke about that last week. And
right.
There is progress being made. The progress isn't being made on the scoreboard, right? And so those are all the things and all the pieces that you got to put together. And what does it come back to? It comes back to consistency. It always will come back to consistency, and that's when good work becomes habit over and over and over again.
Right. Awesome stuff. And let's kind of wrap up here as we look at this Carroll game. What we do each week. What are the 3 keys to win this upcoming game against Carroll, and if you can give us those.
Oh, absolutely. Offensively, we again the consistency level, play by play, has to be there, right? Very, very proud. We got to win the Special Force game. I thought we won the Special Force game at Whitworth. We got to continue to do that, right? And we got to be able to create plays Special Force-wise. And then on defense, we need to be able to get them off the field on third down. So, again, consistency offense. We need to win the Special Forces game, and then let's get them off the field on third down, right? And I think those 3 things in itself will lead to a Mountie victory on Saturday, without a doubt.
Right on. All right. There you have it. You heard that from Coach Camp himself. As always, thanks for your time, Coach.
Well, I appreciate it. Hang in there, Mountie fans. We're going to get this thing righted. And, again, I appreciate all the support that I've been getting. But at the end of the day, I expect to win this football game, and we're going to prepare like no other. And we're going to keep pushing, and we're going to keep pushing until we finally break through. So, again, mount up. I appreciate the support.
As always, the Mounties will take on Carroll College at 1 p.m. this coming Saturday at home here in LeGrand for their 4th contest of the season. You can find links for all game day coverage on the football schedule at EOUsports.com. Thanks again for joining us on the weekly Roundup. Don't forget to follow Mountaineer Athletics on all of its social media platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by searching at EOU Athletics. We'll see you next week, Mountie Nation.